Welcome to the final part of orientation. At this point, we would like to share some of the most critical information for success at Nelson.
The most important thing to remember from your orientation today is Nelson values safety. Our motto is safety before service, and our goal is to have zero workplace injuries or incidents while promoting safety culture. We believe all incidents are preventable with training properly, wearing proper PPE, and following all safety work rules. If you have any questions about safety today or in your job training, please do not hesitate to ask someone in a management position. Again, at Nelson, we value your safety.
Personal protective equipment, or PPE, is the gear that you will be wearing to protect yourself from injuries. Burn sleeves are to be worn while working with any hot food or equipment. The blue steamer gloves are worn when working with hot liquids or the steamers. Dish room gloves are worn when cleaning or loading dirty dishes in the dish room. The long sleeve pots and pans gloves are worn when cleaning pots and pans or making pasta at Kalamata. Insulated gloves are worn when unloading dishes in the dish room or making omelets at Sunnyside. Hot pads are used when carrying anything hot, and cut gloves are to be worn when working with knives, can openers, or other sharp equipment.
Our most common injuries are slips, trips, falls, cuts, burns, and strains. If you have injured yourself in any way, please notify a full-time manager immediately. Even if it seems like a minor injury, it is important that we are informed. We want to provide access to medical treatment if needed, take corrective action to prevent any further injury, and fill out proper documentation.
The best way to stay safe at Nelson is to always be aware of your surroundings. If you notice someone using a knife or other sharp equipment, make sure to give them plenty of space to avoid injury.
Sharps containers are for disposing of medical needles. They are located at the tray return, dish room, and all bathrooms. If you find a needle, make your coworkers aware of its location. Dispose of it in the proper sharps containers and immediately notify a full-time manager.
When using the walk-in coolers, the doors tend to close quickly behind you. Make sure to hold the cooler door open so it does not catch on your ankles or heels.
In any culinary environment, spills are inevitable. Because of this, you need to know the proper spill procedure.
When you see a spill on the ground, immediately stand by it to ensure nobody slips. Ask an employee to get a wet floor sign for you. Once the sign is placed, they can get a mop bucket to clean up the spill. All of this should happen while you stand guard and warn customers of the spill.
Mop buckets can be found in the custodial closet. Fill the mop bucket with a layer of wash and walk solution and then add water until you reach the break line. Orange mops are for grease-only spills, and blue mops can be used on everything else. Ensure the area has been mopped and then finish drying with paper towels, rags, or a dry mop.
If the spill is a bodily fluid, do not handle it yourself and instead notify a custodian. All custodial staff have undergone bloodborne pathogen training and are best suited for these types of spills.
The following video by ServSafe shows you proper hygiene while working with food.
Food worker health is one of the most important factors to preventing foodborne illness. It's simple. When you're sick, don't work with food. Germs can easily be spread if you're experiencing flu-like symptoms, jaundice, or other illness.
If you're sick, stay home. Remember the 24-hour rule. Vomiting, diarrhea, fever with sore throat, or jaundice, stay home for 24 hours from the last symptom.
Besides being aware of your own health and knowing that when you're sick, you pose a risk to the public, being aware of your personal hygiene is another aspect of avoiding contaminants in the food you serve. In fact, food workers with good personal hygiene save lives. Following proper hand washing protocol by washing your hands the right way and at the right times, keeping fingernails trimmed for easier cleaning, wearing hair restraints and proper work clothing, and covering cuts and burns with bandages and gloves, in addition to not working while sick. These are all ways that hygiene prevents the spread of germs in the kitchen. Wash your hands throughout the day, even when hands look clean, to keep germs off your body and the food you prepare. Always wash before you begin food preparation, or if you've been contaminated by exposure to potential germs. Contamination can be caused by using the bathroom, touching one's face or nose, handling raw meat, fish, or poultry, sneezing, coughing, or blowing one's nose, handling garbage or dirty dishes, handling animals, or using chemicals, or after taking a break, eating, or smoking. If you aren't sure if a wash is necessary, wash anyway, just to be safe. Step 1. Get hands wet to help the soap work. Step 2. Apply soap and scrub. Remember to pay attention to your entire hand when washing. Step 3. Rub your hands for a full 20 seconds. This is how long it takes for soap to kill germs. Step 4. Scrub the backs of your hands and between your fingers, a common breeding ground for bacteria. Scrub your forearms. They frequently touch food prep surfaces, and utensils. Step 5. Rinse hands to send the soap suds and germs down the drain. Rinse for about 5 seconds to fully remove the soap. Step 6. After rinsing, dry hands and forearms with disposable paper towels or an air blower. Don't use cloth towels or dish rags, which can stay damp and recontaminate your hands. It's important to know that hand sanitizers may be helpful on clean hands, but are not substitutes for hand washing. In fact, in some cases, double hand washing may be required. Always remember that hand washing is the most important food safety tool to get rid of the germs that make people ill. When in doubt, wash. Gloves can be tricky because if a food handler thinks they're using gloves correctly and they aren't, they can put the public at an increased risk by contamination. Gloves are there to protect food from germs, not your hands from the food. So remember to change them often and never wash or reuse them, especially between working with raw and ready-to-eat food. When you're done with them, be sure they go in the trash and wash your hands afterwards. When it comes to health and hygiene, as a defense against foodborne illness, it's important to realize that personal habits affect food safety. You may not eat, drink, or use any type of tobacco in food prep areas. This is to prevent spills and reduce contamination.
The Automatic Electronic Defibrillator, or AED, is located at Checker Stand 1. We also have first aid kits at this checker stand and in the hiring office.
In the event that harmful chemicals come into contact with your eyes, there are eye wash stations located in the dish room and custodial closet. If you have any questions about chemicals, you can consult the Safety Data Sheets Binder, or SDS, located on the black bookshelf in the hiring office.
Should Athens County be under a boil order, we will remain open. Bottles of water will be provided for our customers and all Pepsi machines will be shut down. If you are working in the dish room, make sure the dish machine has EcoSan running through it. With this chemical, we can still safely wash dishes with the dish machine.
Fire extinguishers are located throughout the kitchen and in the court. The following video by the Safety Memos Publishing Company goes over the proper use of a fire extinguisher.
There are two important things to remember if you ever need to use an extinguisher. First, make sure that you never place yourself in a position where the fire is between you and a safe exit. Keep the fire in front of you and the safe exit at your back. And second, remember the pass system. Pull, aim, squeeze, and sweep. When you need to use the extinguisher, first pull the safety pin from the handle. Then, aim the extinguisher nozzle at the base of the fire. This is the spot where the flames are touching the fuel source. Next, squeeze the handle to activate the extinguisher. And finally, sweep the spray back and forth across the target. Continue until the fire is out.
If the fire alarms go off, we will not assume it is a drill and will evacuate the building through the nearest and safest exit. Employees are to meet at the volleyball courts on South Green across from Crawford Hall.
In the case of a tornado warning, we will locate to Nelson Down Under, which is located in the South Green garage. In the event we cannot reach the parking garage, we will gather in the center of the dining hall, away from the windows and next to the support beams, as this is deemed the most structurally sound area.
Finally, should there be an armed robber, do not be a hero and give them any money that they demand. After the perpetrator has left, immediately call OUPD with the number on the screen. This video by Ohio University Police Department shows you what to do in case you encounter an armed intruder. Please be advised this video does contain sounds and images of firing a gun.
Hello, I'm Andrew Powers, Chief of Police at Ohio University. Incidents involving armed intruders are dynamic events, and most people aren't prepared to respond if they find themselves in that type of situation. Hopefully, this video will change that and provide you with important information that might save your life.
If you decide you can evacuate safely, run as far away as possible before stopping. You might have to run in a zigzag pattern or bring along a weapon in case you encounter the shooter along the way. Once you reach a safe distance, call 911 and alert authorities. If you find yourself in a room where you need to escape through a window and it won't unlock, don't be afraid to break it out. If it's from an elevated position, you can hang from the ledge or have somebody lower you down using articles of clothing in order to lessen the fall. You can aim for bushes or mulch or somewhere soft. The injuries you might sustain from jumping from the window would be far less severe than if you encountered the shooter in the room. If you find yourself in an active shooter situation where lockdown is the best option, the first thing you'll want to do is secure the door. If the door can't be locked, you can secure it by pulling it closed from the side using belts, purse straps, or whatever else is available. Then you'll want to barricade the door using furniture such as chairs and desks. Move away from the front of the door in case the gunman attempts to shoot through, and be sure and silence your cell phones. In this lockdown situation, a few other things to keep in mind are to cover the windows and the doors, and once it's secured, don't open them for anyone until the police get there. You can also look for alternate escape routes, such as other doors or windows, in case the shooter makes it inside. If you believe that you're going to be confronted, position yourself where you can counter the attacker. Anything can be used as a weapon. Backpacks, chairs, a bottle of water. Space out and create distance so that you're not one large target. The most effective way to control the attacker is with the swarm technique, where the first person in controls the weapon and everyone else grabs the head and limbs and pulls the attacker to the ground. Make sure you isolate the firearm so that the police don't see it when they come in the room.
Thank you for watching this brief overview of how to respond to an armed intruder. Hopefully it will lead you to attend one of the full-length ALICE sessions offered by OUPD on campus throughout the year. Research shows that people who are prepared, even if only with minimal training, will react faster during a critical incident. For more information about ALICE training, visit OUPD's website. Thanks for watching.
Thank you for joining us today for your orientation. Remember to come in 40 minutes early for your next shift, and welcome to the Nelson team.